Hello people of YouTube, my name's Tyler and welcome to my rabbit hole. So for my first video, I want to go pretty deep down the rabbit hole and I want to talk about God. Now, I know a lot of you might not like that word, but use whatever word you like. Divine intelligence, the universe, it's all the same. So God. God is the source energy of all things. Nothing came before God. Nothing will come after God. All is God. So how I look at it is think of the Big Bang, except put God in there. So God expanded him herself into everything and is ever expanding. So the Spirit of God is within everything. God is all of reality. So a lot of people look at it like God is this separate entity, sort of looking down at the universe and his creation in this higher place. Now, there's a paradox here. A lot of people talk about non-duality and duality. Non-duality basically meaning everything is one and there is no separation. Duality meaning things are separate. So God is both non-dualistic and dualistic at the same time. So let me explain. I am God. You are God. We are fragments of God, and yet there's a higher power God, the God upstairs, that is so much more powerful and bigger than you or I could ever comprehend. So I see a lot of people on YouTube in this psychedelic spiritual community talking about non-duality, and they say like what I just said, but they never mention the God upstairs, the God behind the scenes orchestrating all of reality, the God that will destroy their ego, and the God that loves you and loves his creation with infinite amount of love. Now on the other side of the coin, there's people that feel like they're here to please or impress God in order to get this reward when they die, be it heaven or whatever the belief system is behind that, or that their belief systems determine whether they make it to heaven or hell or whatever. And now that's just not true. God doesn't judge any of his creation. God has infinite love for every being in the entire universe. God has infinite love for Donald Trump, and God has infinite love for Jesus Christ. So Donald Trump is doing his job perfectly. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's happening. If it's happening, it's perfect, you know? Divine order. And a lot of people talk about good and bad. Now, those are just perceptions. They don't actually exist. People look at things like, almost like bad things are the devil and good things are God, as if there's this infinite battle, when that's just not the case. There's only one force, there's only one God, and everything that happens is God's plan, good and bad. So a good example of this would be the US was bombing Syria, which was horrible, and we got to see all these pictures of young children, young Syrian children being hurt, really sad pictures, and those kids died in those situations. Now, those kids that came down here didn't die for nothing. They came down here and did their job perfectly. Everything is for the higher good. So another way of looking at it would be they died in order to wake us up to the suffering and what's happening around the world so that we can make a change. They didn't come here for no reason. So now, with that being said, I want to talk about ego death, because ego death will make you suffer. Now, God does not care about your precious little ego identity, who you think you are. God will destroy it. He'll destroy it through life circumstances. So, if you're meant to be someone else, if you're meant to go on a different path, and you haven't truly found yourself, you will be forced to through circumstances. So it will be hard. You will suffer. But if you resist this process of ego death and you deny it, you lie, deny until you die, you will have to repeat it over and over and over again. God has infinite time, you know? You might get to the point, God will bring you to the brink of suicide. You might do it, but it's all necessary in order for you to become who you're meant to be. So instead of resisting, what you resist persists. Be open, accepting, and surrender to the process. Accept the circumstances you're in. Love yourself. Accept yourself. And listen to God whispering in your ear. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul nudges. Follow the synchronicities. And it will bring you down a path and bring you into a life that you would have never thought possible. And you will find things about yourself that you never knew. You will find your true self, your authentic self. Okay, so embrace the process. So in closing, I just want to say, remember, everyone came from God. Everyone's going back to God. Everyone is on the perfect path back to God. Everything in life is perfect. Whether perceived good or bad, it's all for your soul's evolution, all coming from a foundation of love. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time down my rabbit hole.